Hello, I'm Dr. Heather Forkey. I'm a pediatrician and I'm the mom of 5 kids. And I'm joined here with my dear friend and colleague, Dr. Jessica Griffin.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jessica Griffin. I'm a clinical psychologist, and I'm also the mom of 3 children. And so, a lot of the things that Heather and I talk about are things that actually apply to our own family situations. And so, Heather, one of the things I wanted to talk about today has to do with anxiety and separation anxiety in particular with children. With all the changes in everyone's lives, parents have noticed that their child or children have been more clingy lately and having a harder time separating. I've even noticed in my own children a difficulty in separating, and I'm doing what I'm calling being my Velcro kids, where I feel like they're stuck to me all the time. Have you heard much about this, Heather?
Absolutely, Jess, particularly at this time. Separation anxiety is actually a normal developmental stage. We see it naturally in kids who are 9 months to a year old. And when we see it, it's actually a good sign. It tells us that the brain is developing normally. When babies are born, they're really only using their lower brain, getting food and crying when they need something. As they get older, 9 months to a year, we're recognizing that they are starting to use that higher brain when they begin to recognize that, hey, that's the person I want to be with. It tells us that they're learning about safety and social connectedness. For kids, as they get older, we can sometimes see separation anxiety come back, only then we're seeing more of the anxiety piece. And we may see that as symptoms of crying or tantruming as we separate. Children may express fear that some bad thing will happen to a caregiver. We may find that they're starting to have headaches or stomach aches associated with trying to separate. For kids who are even older, we may see just misbehavior, behavior that doesn't seem like it has to do with separation anxiety. They're just acting out. But if we take a step back, you may recognize that that misbehavior is associated with the time right before separating, while separating, or just after. And so taking a good look at what's going on and thinking about whether separation anxiety could be the cause of that misbehavior can be a good idea. Jess, I know you have some great ideas for how to guide families when they're having kids who are dealing with separation anxiety.
Yeah, Heather, absolutely. So, to manage separation anxiety, the first thing you want to make sure you do is have a plan. Knowing that kids are going to need to be reassured multiple times that they are safe and that they're loved and that we're connected to them even when we're not together. So, we can do this in a number of different ways, letting them know that we're thinking of them even when we're not together. So you could have something like a shared object, like a shared stuffed animal, a shared lovey. My daughter and I, for example, have matching necklaces that we'll each wear when she's having a particularly difficult time. You could give your child something that smells like you, like a t-shirt or a piece of fabric with your soap or perfume on it. Another thing you want to do is have some sort of ritual when you're saying goodbye to your child, whether it's a fist pump and a big hug, or a kiss on the forehead and a see you later alligator. Making sure you have some sort of ritual every time you say goodbye. And then the other strategy that we love to prescribe to families and to parents is something we call special time in. And special time in is a simple technique that you can use with your child to give them that one on one undivided attention every day. We start with 10 minutes a day because it's manageable. We can all find 10 minutes in our day. It's the same time every day. So it could be 4:30 p.m. or 7 p.m., whatever works best for you and your family. And the child picks the activity, as long as it's not a screen related activity, but some sort of activity that they do with you during that time, such as throwing a ball in the yard together or doing coloring and drawing together, taking a walk. The child picks that activity. And what you want to make sure, you're doing this every single day, that you're sticking with it. So if you notice an increase in your child's behavioral issues perhaps toward the end of that 10 minutes, it doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. In fact, your child's probably getting that thing they need from you the most, which is that undivided attention, that one-on-one attention from you, from their caregiver. And so special time in is a simple strategy. But Heather, I don't know if there's anything else that you'd like to add about special time in.
Just the one thing I would add is that sometimes people say, why would giving my child special attention help them when we need to separate and not be with each other? And that's a bit of a paradox. But the truth is that that consistent routine of knowing that they're going to have your undivided attention can be the thing that children need to allay those fears and quiet that separation anxiety so that when they do need to separate, they know in their head that they're going to have your special time later or the next day. Now, we hope that these suggestions are all you need to help your child manage separation anxiety. But of course, if you feel that your child or you need extra help,